Hi everyone, it's the evening of the 15th of September and I've got Kristina from SugaVida with me tonight, or morning for you, Kristina. And she's the founder of this really lovely blend, Tumeric Superblend, that I've been using. And I just wanted to start with Kristina. Like most people that do this and start a company like this, they've had a health journey, something that has brought them to develop something like that. So have you got one? Or
yeah, no, but absolutely. I mean, I've gone through sort of various journeys, shall we say, to get to where I am today. But I would say the first sort of step for me was being chronically ill at university, where I was just getting constant bronchitis and then antibiotics and I was just getting weaker and weaker. And you know, it's not fun when you're 18, 19, you're at university, you want to go out, have fun, all the rest of it. And I felt it was very, very debilitating. And you know, when you keep taking antibiotics, as we all know, it's really not good for our bodies. And so I then came to the decision, and the crux was I had to go to my friend's wedding, and I was ill with bronchitis, and I just remember I was in so much pain, and I just thought, I can't do this again. You know, it's something's got to change. There's got to be another way of getting better. And so really that started my exploration into the natural world. And I thought, you know, that there's got to be a way of getting myself better without you know, medicine. And so really that for me was a very clear starting point. It's like, I do not ever want to take, you know, pharmaceutical drugs again. And you know, started looking at herbal remedies, obviously food, diet, all of these things started sort of coming together. And so that was sort of the first thing. I was very lucky because we're a foodie family, but my sister's actually a trained chef and food writer but with a sort of background, and has studied in America at sort of the top vegetarian cookery schools and things like that. So we were very lucky in the sense that we had then that background, because again, that was still this is in the 90s, so this was sort of way ahead of you know, the so-called health, you know, people becoming really aware of health foods, and it was very much a niche thing at that time. And so that really started the whole thing, and then sort of incorporating, you know, a lot of the ethos around organic foods into diet and things like that, and then really noticing that shift of, you know, what can happen when you do eat really good food that's organic and good quality, you know, and how that can actually transform us. So that was the most important journey, I would say. And then that sort of coupled with my interest in yoga, and started to study a lot of yoga. And then obviously that opened a door into Ayurvedic medicine, because obviously they are two parts of the, you know, they are very closely related and obviously come from India. And then that led me to going to India and falling in love with the country, you know, going on yoga retreats and Ayurvedic retreats, then really getting, you know, an understanding of the whole method, and the whole life. Well, it's not so much a method, it's a lifestyle, you know, at the science of life. It's very and you know, just I loved the fact that it was so in tune with nature and the seasons and the body. And so all of these things sort of started to open my awareness of saying, okay, there's lots of really amazing things here. I had at the time been working in very fortunately in energy medicine, and I was
what was
doing
that?
sort of energy medicine. So at that time, I was working for a company that made EMF pendants called Q-Link.
Oh, okay. Yeah, right.
So they were pendants that you wore to help protect you from all the electromagnetic radiation. So through that world, you know, I opened, you know, we were interacting with some, you know, Ken Wilber and Deepak Chopra and that whole side of things, and the whole mind, body, spirit side of things. So all of these sort of worlds were converging, and just my interest was bigger and bigger in all these things. And then on a trip to, it sort of coupled with, at the time, me having quite bad gluten intolerance. Okay. So I was just becoming aware that, you know, wheat was not good for me. I was bloated, and I mean, literally, I would eat wheat and I would look sort of 8 months pregnant, you know, and so then I, you know, from a personal level, I was just thinking, you know, there were not good quality gluten-free products available at that time. And I then met an Indian organic company on one of my Indian trips, and they had this most amazing range of organic, healthy snacks made with millet and sesame and all these things. So that was actually how I started the company. I started the company importing and creating a range of gluten, wheat, and dairy-free snacks, which were fantastic. And I have to say, they were all handmade, no oil, nothing in them. But the problem with that is they had a very short shelf life, and the company in India just couldn't keep up. We couldn't make it work as a business. But they had another product, which I was really interested in, which was a digestive type mix. And my first chat with Mark was about this digestive mix. So this is a blend, but then we created it. So it's basically a blend of digestive herbs and seeds that you chew after meals. And it's important because digestion, as we know, is the foundation of everything. And without good digestion, sure, you can take all the lovely products and supplements and pills and potions, etc. But if your digestive system is not functioning optimally, it's, you know, half of it's going to actually be wasted. So the digestive mix, and I'll we'll have to get a picture because I don't have one right here with me, unfortunately. But that was my foundation product of the company when I moved away from the snacks, because really I was seeing so many people with so many different types of digestive issues, and digestive issues affect everybody, and really affect one's quality of life and one's freedom. You know, if you suffer with really bad acid reflux that you've had for years and years, you know, you can't eat certain foods, you can't drink wine anymore. You know, you have some severe cases, you have to lie up at an angle because the acid is going to come up. So, or, you know, I mean, I just came across thousands of people with digestive problems, myself included. And so when I started to take this product, suddenly I found I could eat gluten again without any problems. No more bloating, no issues, because what this product is doing is getting the whole digestive system to work and function again through the chewing, but also through the botanical blend. So it's a synergistic effect, because we all know, we've all been told we need to chew our food more. You know, we're all guilty of grabbing a sandwich on the go, running around here, running around there. But what happens is that we don't use this part of the digestive process. And this is the most important part, because it's the chewing that releases all our digestive enzymes. And it's the chewing that then creates all the other signals. So it signals from the brain down to the gut brain to start the whole digestive process, and particularly working with the vagus nerve as well. So it's basically the whole thing then becomes like a, you know, ideally, you know, your digestive system needs to work like an orchestra with all the instruments working in harmony and in tune, so that one process, you know, it's almost like you have one process opens the gateway to the next process, to the next process. So you have this wonderful seamless process. But most of us don't digest like that because we're running around, we don't chew, we're eating processed foods, but, you know, etc., etc. So this focuses the mind, calms the system down, activates all the digestive enzymes, And then all the lovely herbs and seeds that are in the mix helps to break down the meal all the way down through the whole system. That's on one meal. Now imagine doing the power of doing that 3 times a day for say 1, 2, 3 months. The whole system then begins to recalibrate. So it's almost like having an MOT or it basically, see, when you get the digestive system working again, functioning, all the inflammation goes down because the body's going, fantastic. I'm now working as I'm meant to work, and everything works harmoniously. And because you're doing it repetitively, it takes 8 weeks to form a new habit. So then it becomes an automatic process. And then all these lovely herbs and seeds, plus also the body healing itself, means that all the bits of it starts to heal the gut walls, the gut lining, ulcers, etc., and all the way down to constipation. So it really is, it is my favorite product because it is the foundation. You get the foundation right, and then you can incorporate and get all the benefits from all the other lovely products that I work with. And the digestive mix does actually have the sugar in it as well, because it's a very important part of the digestive process. The Palmyra activates your body's digestive enzymes, but it also helps to rebuild and repair damaged stomach linings. So it's very, very good for the digestive system as well.
So I actually got that sugar for you, and I baked cookies with it, like just peanut, like organic peanut butter, sugar, and an egg. And the kids loved it. Fantastic. They had no idea. So,
and can I just ask you a question? When you did that, did you find that your satiation levels, i.e. you didn't feel the need to eat 10 cookies, but actually 1 or 2 cookies was enough and was satisfying, and you didn't find, because that for me is something really wonderful about the sugar, is that it's because it's so full of nutrients, you're eating real food. So when you do cook and bake with it, you are full and satisfied.
It was, I can't really remember how many I had, but it was very yummy. But you just quickly go into that and why it's better for you and where it comes from.
So the sugar is again in everything that I do. And so in a way I sort of liken it to sort of the Intel inside all my products, because it binds everything together. And I came across it again in India through the Ayurvedic, my Ayurvedic experiences, because it is given as medicine in the Ayurvedic tradition, because it has so many amazing benefits. And what it is the nectar from the Palmyra tree. And this is a special type of tree that grows in many parts in India, but specifically in the southeast of India. And it is a type of palm tree. I just will say that no trees are ever cut down. It takes 15 years for the tree for you to be able to harvest the nectar. So there's no quick fixes here, and it's all wild harvested. So we work with wild, it's a very sacred tree. It's very revered in Ayurvedic medicine because it does so many amazing things. And they, if you're ill, if you have, children with cough, cold, you give some of the sugar in some hot water with maybe some lemon or turmeric, and they use it for sleep. Obviously, if you look at it from a nutritional perspective, it has over 15 vitamins and minerals in very high amounts. So, but particularly your B vitamins and iron. So it has a naturally occurring B complex in it, and particularly B12 that is bioavailable, because when it comes out of the tree, it ferments, and that is why it has the B12 in it. And so a lot of people are really astounded because they say, oh, well, you can't get a vegetarian or a vegan form of bioavailable B12. You can't traditionally in all the things that are in the market at that moment, but you can with the Palmyra. And because it's not very well known still, that's why people don't believe that, because they just don't know enough about it. So that's one aspect. So it's got all the lovely B vitamins. They use it. So B vitamins are really control our nervous system.
Very
so anything
important.
to do with the nervous system. So sleep, energy, focus, concentration, mood, all of these things are, you know, are sort of the masters of the B vitamins. So that is why a lot of people, you know, one of the first things they notice with when they take the sugar, they have much more constant energy throughout the day. They sleep better at night because it calms down the nervous system in the evening. You know, a lot of people have problems, you know, I would say after digestive problems, sleep and stress are so closely linked together. But one of the main reasons is because when your body is in a state of cortisol, i.e. fight or flight, because you're thinking too much about this or that, what happens is your body can't produce melatonin because it's in this state of fight or flight. So what all the B vitamins do is and so that's why many of my customers take it before bed, because it calms and relaxes the nervous system down. And what that means is the body can then produce its own melatonin. So that's one aspect. Yeah. So that's one aspect. And also, you know, the other aspect we then talk about, which is again is essential to you know, inflammation reduction, but also overall well-being, is blood sugar control.
Yeah.
So one of the very interesting things about
just the sugar alone, or is it the blend now you're talking about?
I'm just talking about the sugar,
right?
But the sugar is in a key component in all the blends,
right?
So you get the benefits of the sugar in all of the blends. I'll come along to talk about the turmeric in the blends later and why that's important.
Right.
But sugar is, you know, it really needs to be explained properly, because a lot of people don't understand, oh, how can a sugar be healthy for me? How can I, you know, and so I just want to set that.
Absolutely.
Right. Because once people understand that, and then they go, oh yeah, okay, that makes sense, then, you know, then suddenly it's not such a big leap to sort of say, oh, well, I'm taking a sugar daily for, as of it, you know, I take it, of course, I do cook and bake with it, but actually far important for me is I take it as a supplement. I take it as a superfood to get my vitamins and minerals and to keep my blood sugar stable. So the blood sugar thing is very important. Number one, it's low GI, but it's also low glycemic load. So it doesn't spike blood sugar, but it has something very special in it, and a very special compound, which are called amino sugars. Now, amino sugars basically bind to your insulin receptors. So what that means is when you take our sugar, it just keeps your blood sugar very, very stable, no matter what you do or eat. And this is the really interesting thing. And we are looking at doing, you know, we want to do some research, basically, because if I've been naughty, let's say I've had a glass of wine or a chocolate bar, or, you know, something, you know, and we're all human. And you know, I love all, you know, I will often have a bit of chocolate, whatever. I'm not going to pretend, or a bit of ice cream. But if I have it with my sugar, or I have a teaspoon afterwards, what that does, it doesn't matter what you do or what you eat. The SugaVida brings it down and it balances. And so this is why it is used. I mean, you know, in the Ayurvedic tradition, if you are pre-diabetic or you have type 2 diabetes, you know, they will recommend this sugar for you because it doesn't affect, you know, people who are diabetic or pre-diabetic. So we really want to do some studies into that because it's massive. So that is another thing. And then you go into, we work a lot with children with autism, ADHD, and other conditions, and they, parents will use it as the sugar, as the medicine, because again, it keeps them very, very stable, and can often stop the fits or the tempers and the mood swings as well. So we work with a lot of kids with autism and ADHD because it is so fantastic. And we work with a lot of nutritionists who recommend it out to all their clients and patients. So that's something. The other key thing about it, and there are two, actually I'll just mention two things and then I'll jump onto the turmeric. But one of the other things is it helps the body to produce glucuronic acid. Now, glucuronic acid is not produced naturally by the body. It's very difficult, but what it does is it enables the detoxification of the liver. So all the man-made chemicals that we are exposed to, if you pharmaceuticals, any sort of toxins need the glucuronic acid to expel the toxins through the liver. So that's one of the key things. And it was actually one of the practitioners that we work with that said that basically that is what it does. And so, that's one aspect. That's why we get a lot of feedback also on the skin. A lot of people that have skin conditions, rosacea, pimples. Your skin looks amazing, by the way.
Makeup.
That is also fungus. It's antifungal. So if you've got candida or any other type of athlete's foot fungus, and again, I know it sounds counterintuitive, but you take the sugar and it disappears.
Wow. So yeah, that's amazing. Because when you think of sugar, like obviously white cane sugar is just poisonous to the body.
Yeah, exactly. So, and that's why it's really, it's a challenge to educate people and say, well, actually, not all sugar is created equally in the body and how it, so it's very interesting because, but then once people try it and they're on it, I mean, the other thing that it does is when you start taking it, your cravings for sugar go. So it stops that whole dopamine to sugar addiction as well.
And I suppose when it's like leveling out everything during the day, you're not getting that 3 o'clock slump.
Yeah,
I assume because you're
exactly. So that is the other thing that I really liked was we had another practitioner of ours, and she just said, you know what, this sugar loves your DNA and your mitochondria. It's just amazing. So we keep getting amazing, the testimonials we've got from people is just quite incredible. It's very special stuff.
And I think that's where we have to go in the future, is actually go back to the past. Because
well, we are doing that to a certain extent. I mean, if you look at the advent of all the different superfoods that are coming into the marketplace over the last 10 years, I think people, this is the new ancient. And I don't know, the superfood word is really unfortunately there's just not really a better word, another word that. But we are going back to traditional foods, traditional cultures, and I think a respect for their knowledge.
Yes, exactly. So talking about superfoods,
Yes.
so
Absolutely.
this blend, I don't really know much about turmeric. So
Yeah.
is it the wonder spice that everyone goes on about?
It is. It is, yes and no. It is if you get it with a very high curcumin content. It is if you get it organic. It is if you mix it with black pepper and then your fats for optimal absorption. But the problem is the market is so saturated with very, very poor quality turmeric. And this is what has given sort of, turmeric a little bit of a bad name, in the sense that because everyone, it is the foundation of in Indian and a lot of Eastern Asian cooking. And so most of the turmeric in the marketplace is fine for cooking. But you are not going to get a therapeutic benefit from it, because the concentration, the percentage of the curcumin is just too low. You'd literally have to eat, shovels full. So what has happened because of that, all of these sort of food scientists and a lot of people in the pharmaceutical industry said, okay, we're just going to take the curcumin out of the turmeric. We're going to extract it, and we're going to boost it with this and boost it with that, put it into a tablet, put it into a capsule. There you go. Like with all extracts, overuse of extracts, particularly if they are extracted using a lot of chemicals, which they are also very toxic for the liver. So somebody may start taking curcumin supplements and pills and go, well, you know what, my joint pain has gone, but it's really weird. I'm getting really weird digestive problems and I'm getting headaches. Well, that is from the fact that probably the turmeric capsules, A, are not organic, and B, because of the extraction methods, and because that, it's toxic to the liver over time. So for me, going back to the traditional Ayurvedic recipe, was, if you are ill in India, cold, cough, immune, anything like that, they will give you warm milk with turmeric, black pepper, and depending on where in India you are, but if you are down in the south, then they will put the palmyra in it. If you're in the north, then they will put honey, or, and so I love the drink, was drinking it a lot in India. And then because I also do a bit of cooking on yoga retreats as well. I started making the drink for all the guests, and they would go, oh my god, this is so fantastic, how do I make it? And the problem is that it has to be done in the right way, with the right ratios, the right ingredients, and most people haven't got the time, for the fact it's too much,
all the knowledge,
all the knowledge, or the access to the quality products. So I just thought, you know what, this is fantastic, because I wanted another way of getting the sugar into people in an easy way that you could describe, and people go, okay, yeah, no, fantastic. So that I came, so that is when I sort of thought, no, this I need to make this as a product, because I think it's really important. I know how amazing turmeric can be if you buy the best quality, and so that's really led me to to creating the turmeric blends. And I work with a team of Ayurvedic doctors in India, so for me it's really important, everything we go back with, we share knowledge, they tell me, so I came up with what I thought was the correct formulation. And I sent it to them. I said, this is what and they said, no, you haven't got any, this. So they basically tweaked the recipe for me. And actually one of the really interesting things was the level of the black pepper in the blends, because there is more black pepper than other companies and other products and other turmeric products on the market. But they said, listen, you can either go two ways. You can go down the way of making it more palatable to Westerners, hence why you don't add so much black pepper. But if you want to create a really authentic remedy and recipe, then this is what you need to do. So I said, no, absolutely. For me, it's got to be the quality, it's got to be the efficacy. That's the way we want to go to. And it was so we used one type of organic black pepper originally, very called, it's a Telecherry black pepper. It's very strong, and literally even that was almost too strong. Everyone was trying it, was oh my god. and I was really difficult, because at that point I thought, how am I going to bring this product to this, people are not able to tolerate it. And anyway, thankfully, the people that I work with in India, they said, no, we know there are different varieties of peppers out there. So we went and found one that was obviously just as effective, because it still has the same amount of piperine, but it just wasn't as spicy. So then we switched to that, and thankfully that means people are able to now. I was quite. But the most important for me was the quality of the turmeric, and this is where it took a lot of time, a lot of effort, because most turmeric that is, so the main compound that everybody knows about is the curcumin. Now, typically, if you buy turmeric in the shops, doesn't matter where you go, whether it's Coles or Woolworths or health food store, you will never know what the percentage of the curcumin is in that turmeric. They don't tell you. No packet ever makes that that claim, because they don't know, and because most of it is very low grade. It's maybe 1%, 2% curcumin, which isn't very much. So you're not going to get much of a benefit unless you're literally putting very large scoops in. So then I sort of said, oh, how high can we go? I want to go the highest curcumin content as possible. So then I was able to find sort of 5-6%, which is, it's not bad, and you will get a good benefit out of that, because it's, over double the amount of sort of the culinary turmeric. But I had then read about other farmers that were just creating, 7%, 8%, 9% curcumin. They were not able to grow very much, because it's a longer process. There are not many of those plants. It's also much more expensive. And I said, that is what I want. So that, it took a long time to find the farmers growing that grade of turmeric. And there really are not many in India. I mean, I've found 4. Wow. I have found somewhere with a higher percentage in a different part of India. It's not certified organic, unfortunately, but it is way beyond organic, because it's farmed up in the middle of very remote region, and that has an even higher percentage. So I am sort of going to work towards that, in the future. But at the moment, we're on a 7-8% curcumin, which is the highest you can get in the world at the moment. So, it really is, and it's got a completely different look and taste, and it is much, much stronger. And that makes all the difference. And, the thing with turmeric is, well, people just think, oh, curcumin. Well, it's not just curcumin. There are so many other fantastic compounds in the root that are all working synergistically. So again, that for me is why just take one compound out of this amazing root. Your body will absorb far more if you have it in its whole root form.
And it's the soil is so important.
Soil is hugely important, because it's a rhizome, which means it grows in the under the ground. So if you are then polluting your farm with chemicals and pesticides, it's all going to accumulate in those roots. So organic farming is so essential when it comes to any kind of root vegetables, or obviously rhizome, like a turmeric, like ginger, like galangal, for example.
Wow. So it's anti-inflammatory.
So yeah, I mean, the two, I would say the two things that turmeric is really known for, one is the anti-inflammatory effect on particularly joints, bones, you know, arthritis, knee pain, aches, stiffness, all of that whole thing. But, you know, turmeric is also fantastic for the immune system. It's a great immune booster. It's also an adaptogen, so it works, you know, so adaptogens are also very popular, becoming very popular now.
I'm a bit clueless on why.
Yeah, I mean, you know, basically they help the body adapt and cope in stressful situations.
Okay.
So they give you energy when you need it, but they calm you down when you need it. So they basically are able to adapt to the body's needs and the body's rhythms.
Okay, fantastic. So,
and the other two key things, obviously it works on the skin, so that's why they're with the palmyra and the skin. It's fantastic. And obviously heart function, blood circulation, and liver function as well, really important.
I didn't really know how to prepare it, so yes. How do I get the best out of it for absorption?
Yeah, I mean, again, just, you know, my view with that, I mean, everything is in the blend that you need, so it's got the black pepper, etc. Interestingly, I don't really like milk products. You need a little, I mean, we have a little bit of coconut oil in there just to help for the, because the fats also help the absorption. So for me, I tend to just drink it. I put a teaspoon in my coffee and maybe a dash of, and then a little bit of coconut oil or just water, a bit of coconut oil. But the traditional way is heating full fat milk, or almond milk, or, you know, dairy alternative, whatever, and then coming a heaped teaspoon in it. But you can put it in porridge, add it to smoothies, you know, it doesn't matter, just get it into the body. And my recommendation would be, when you start using it, start with 2 to 3 teaspoons a day, spaced throughout the day, to get it into the body, and then you can reduce to a maintenance, you know, further down the line after, you know, 2-3 weeks basically.
Okay, because I've always had like a sluggish liver, I think, so this would help with that sort of
function. Yeah, absolutely. And because of the sugar in it as well, both work with the liver, so very much so. It will, yeah, definitely.
Oh, fantastic. So I was going to ask you, so first stage 1 is the digestive mix, which I didn't see on your website. Maybe
I'm like, can I just move for 1 second?
Go. Yeah. I was going to talk to everyone anyway, because I've got 4 packets to give away to anyone that would like to try it. Just email me and I'll post it out to you and see what you think about it.
Sorry, dogs there. This is the mix here, and what I will do, I just there we go. So this is what it is, and you can see it on the website.
Okay.
And I also just need to let you know that hold on a second, I'm just going to message you here. So yeah, that is the first one, and I would recommend that people do it for 2 to 3 months, because that's really how long you need to reset the whole body. I mean, obviously you can do all of these things at the same time, but this is important because yeah, and also because our, you know, with our immune system being in the gut and created from the gut, it is
so why do you think that it helped you with gluten? Like, what's the mechanism?
Yeah, I mean, the reason being is because when our digestive systems are not working optimally,
Yeah.
So years of abuse, let's say, and the body basically starts to shut down, and it's just signals from the body saying it's not happy with, you know, it needs addressing. So because I got my digestive system working properly again, everything functioning, then when now I don't choose to eat gluten all the time because it generally doesn't agree with me that much, but what it means is it gives me that freedom. So say I am out at a friend's for dinner, or you know what, I really fancy that an amazing slice of sourdough bread from you know, Montreux Bakery down the road, or you know, in Denmark we have fantastic Danish pastries, for example.
Yes.
You know, it just gives you that freedom to say, you know what, I can have that once in a while, really enjoy it, not get affected. And then, you know, I mean, I have a tub, and I would say I use it maybe, I mean, I've had this probably about 5-6 months, because I don't use it all the time. I don't need to, but just once in a while, I've had a rich meal, then I'll take it, or you know, I've been out for dinner, whatever, Christmas time, you know, that sort of thing. And then what I also do is sort of every January, I do it for a month just to keep my system, you know. But I have customers that basically say, you know what, I love it. It's changed my life. I can do what I want. I can eat what I like. So I'm going to take it every day, maybe not 3 times a day, but just once a day. Just to, you know, so, you know, you work it out how it works for you, but those 2-3 months to start with are really super important.
Okay.
Because then everything else works better. You absorb the food that you're eating much easier, you know, you absorb the nutrients, etc. So everything works better.
That's amazing. And lastly, any new products coming on?
I do. I have about I have 3 new products in the pipeline. I have a new turmeric blend, which I'm coming out with moringa, which is very high in amino acids and other other vitamins, vitamin E and vitamin K. And I have a mushroom coffee product, which I'm also going to bring out with the sugar. And then I have one secret product, which I can't feel right now, but I'm super excited about, but will be revealed in due course.
So what is the coffee? Did you say a coffee alternative?
Mushroom. It's a mushroom coffee. So it will have real coffee. It will have, you know, medicinal mushrooms, but and will also have the sugar. So together, it's going to create a really beautiful boost.
Does it have caffeine in it?
Yeah, it does have
caffeine. It does.
It has real organic coffee in it. Yeah, just instant coffee. Yeah.
Oh, that'd be unreal.
Yeah. So
I just can't give up my coffee.
No, I can't either. I'm actually trialing a collagen coffee at the moment, which is quite interesting. So
how does it taste, though?
It's not the best. I have to blend it with my normal coffee, I have to say.
I purchased one of those, and no.
Yes, I've just sent you a little message, so I don't know whether you want to just read that before you sign off.
What did you do?
I've just sent you a message. If you look on the message.
Oh, I'm so bad with technology.
Come out
right. Okay.
And then down at the bottom.
No.
Oh, okay. So basically, I've set up we've set up a special code for all of your listeners.
Oh yes, thank you. That's good.
So they get
20.
Yeah, so you get a 20% off if anyone wants to try the products, and yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. I'm definitely going to buy more of the sugar. It's amazing.
It is, it's you know, it's they're special products which deliver real benefits, and so and you know, it's nice and easy. It's not something disgusting, you know, it's easy to taste. It tastes delicious. You can put it in anything, and you know, what's not to love?
Exactly. Well, thank you so much for your time.
No, thank you, Sonia. Lovely to meet you. I wish I was still on Australia, and so I hope you have a wonderful spring and summer.
I know, we're looking forward to it. So, and we'll speak soon.
Yeah, perfect.
Thank
Thanks.
you. Bye.
Bye.